is your time and attention. Won't you give some of it to me?
Hey YouTube, I know it's been a minute. I'm back, but I'm not really back, but I'm back. So we're gonna have like a chit chat, get ready with me date night edition. So this is the before and definitely you see the after. Anyways, so right now what I'm gonna do is I need to see what's going on underneath here, so that way I know whether or not to like do my hair first and then makeup. So we're gonna figure this out together. Let's see what this is looking like. Okay, it's not bad. It's not the best, but it ain't bad. Because at first I was going to do like a whole wash and go, but it's not looking like I need to. Alright, so I'm going to put this back up in a bun and we're going to commence. Also, I'm using the Sony A5100 to record, so it's not the same quality as my DSLR, but we'll talk more about like the reasons why. So I'm gonna do these brows and then we're gonna chat, because I can't, for some reason I can't do brows and talk at the same time. It's the weirdest conundrum. Also, I have some oil ones, some new ones that have to do more so with like skincare, and you can use them for hair care and all of that. So this one right here is the rose one. For this time, let me do these brows, drink my Capri Sun, and then we'll commence. Okay, so I did my brows, I put down a little base on my eyes, and we're gonna go from here. So I had a few things that I basically just wanted to chit chat with you guys about. I know I still gotta give you guys an update on what's been going on with my life and why this background is the way that it is and all of that good stuff. The pandemic did what the pandemic was supposed to do. Right now I'm gonna go in with the Revolution Fierce Wild Out Animal palette. This is my first time using it. I don't want to blind you guys with the mirror. I think this is like $5, so we'll see. But anyways, since I've been gone, obviously I've had thoughts, like lots and lots of thoughts, and one of them being, honestly, that this whole I wanted to basically first start talking about cancel culture or what have you, because for some odd reason motherfuckers is walking around, I'm trying to stop cursing. For some odd reason, people are basically walking around talking about, you know, well, okay, so the first color that I'm going to go in with is with number 18 into the crease, and then I'm going to follow that up with number 8, and then on the lid I'm going to put number 4. Anyways, so yeah, I was looking at something that Kevin Hart had said recently, where he basically was talking about how people basically are afraid to do anything because they're afraid to get canceled and all of these like excuses. Honestly, that's exactly what it is. It's nothing but excuses. I feel like people don't understand that you can be, it's okay to make mistakes. It is fine for you to be, teachable. Nobody is above reproach. There's nobody on this planet that is above actual, like, accountability. But unfortunately, in the current world that we live in, where it's a lot of, like, people who are higher up in, like, bigger positions basically just saying, like, oh yeah, I'm being canceled, and it's like, why do you think that you're being canceled? Nobody said that you're being canceled. Nobody has the ability to cancel people, especially if you look at the Jake Pauls, the Logan Pauls, the Jeffree Stars, and all of those people. Look at Gabby Hanna. You guys can't get canceled. Like, people can publicly talk about you. People can, voice their opinions on the fact that you guys haven't been in, like, a place where you guys have to genuinely apologize, because majority of y'all apologies don't be genuine. It's more so y'all want to get your money. And on one hand, it's understandable, and then on the other hand, it's like, it's annoying, because there's so many people out there who basically, like, they go out their way to make sure that they're good people, that they don't try to kill their friends by doing a stunt for freaking views on social media, and then you find out that they're not actually friends, that they're just basically work friends. And everybody just has this idea of, oh, this is what cancel culture is. And I'm like, why is it that it's cancel? Like, why are you guys playing the victim when you guys are the perpetrators? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand the idea of basically pretending that you guys are more, like, hurt than you actually are, if that makes any sense. Like, you have people who basically are narcissistic, who are sociopaths, to say the least, and they are flourishing. Okay, when I say flourishing, I mean they are flourishing, and the majority of the reason why they're flourishing is because of the fact that they don't care. Like, let's be honest and, like, look at it for, like, what it is. There's a lot of people on this planet who do bad things, and because they don't address it, or because they don't care about it, a lot of us kind of sort of just look the other way. And I think that stems from childhood. Like, when you're a child and you went to school and you stood up to your bully, 9 times out of 10 your teacher got mad at you, right? So, alright, how many of you guys know Pavlov's study of, like, dogs and so on and so forth, right? So basically, you ring a bell, you give food. You ring a bell, you give food. You ring a bell, the dog continues to salivate because it wants the food, or because it's conditioned now to think that there's going to be food. It's the same thing with trauma responses, right? So if your whole entire life people have basically looked the other way, or what would Jesus do you to death, you're going to look the other way when it comes to a lot. You're going to look the other way when it comes to all of these people doing bad things, because you're conditioned to think that it's okay. And then on the other spectrum, when you think about their demographic, which are children, you have a whole bunch of children who wish to do the things that that person's doing. So they're living vicariously through a whole bunch of people who are doing bad things. But because of the fact that these people, who are 9 times out of 10 cis white heteronormative people, we kind of sort of excuse a lot of their behavior. If you don't know about, like, white mediocrity at its finest, look at the people that are popular on, like, all of these major apps, YouTube included. I always struggled with creating content on social media because I'm not really good with faking. I'm not good with the bullshit. I'm not good with the whole let me pretend that I like somebody that I don't actually like because I want to get the notoriety, because I want to get the follows, because I want to get, you know, all of the things. I'm not good at that. I suck at that. I don't know how to use people. I don't want to use people. I never want to get to a point in my career, life, whatever, where I feel like I have to use anybody, because ultimately I shouldn't have to, if that makes any sense. I don't feel like I should have to use people to get ahead. And I feel like when you think about David Dobrik, who's basically buying people's views and notoriety, and don't get me wrong, during this pandemic, you know, my life kind of sort of went to shit, and I basically would be on Twitter like tweeting my books and plugging my books underneath like his posts or whatever the case is, because you know he was always like giving away money. So I'm a single mom, I need money, why wouldn't I, you know? So through the years, you know, you kind of sort of get a little discouraged when you look at people like David Dobrik, who their claim to fame is mediocrity. And then it's like, as a woman, as a black woman, as anything, you start to feel like, not necessarily like you're beneath them, because ultimately I already know that as far as being a good person, that there is a level of being a good person that needs to be also recognized. But in the same breath, at the same time, remembering the society that we do live in, because I feel like sometimes people have a tendency to forget that the online world is different than the real world. So they expect different as far as like just saying that they expect different, but they basically still do the same thing. So it's like you have a whole bunch of real world people coming on an app pretending like, oh my god, this is new, this is innovative, I'm in like a good community, this is, you know, a safe space and all this other extra stuff, when in all actuality Facebook, Instagram, all of these other extra things, you kind of sort of fall back into the same patterns, right? So it's like you can't really get canceled. There's no way, especially if you're like a rich white person, there's no way for you to honestly get canceled. You could take yourself a little breaky break, come right back, call it a day. Now, if you're a black woman, it's harder. The reason why is because black women aren't given the same amount of grace that white mediocrity does. Like, look at Chrisette Michelle. Like, when we said we wasn't rocking with her, we definitely wasn't rocking with her. But like, look at Kevin Hart. He does all of these things, calls his daughter whatever he calls his daughter, and we excuse a lot of toxic behavior when it comes to rich black men, especially within our community. Now, obviously everything, there is no one size fits all to any of this, right? So when you look at it from a scholar standpoint, when you look at examples, you can see it. When you look at a whole bunch of stuff, but if things are being done microly, like in different increments or smaller ways, you're not going to see it as prominent as somebody who's like actively watching the shit show. I hope that makes sense. So like, we're more inclined to pay attention to things when we know what the outcome is going to be. I definitely went in with the wrong color. I went in with number 2 instead of going in with number 8 like I thought I was going to. So it became darker than what I actually thought it was going to be. It is what it is. number 8 does. No big change. Anyway, so, you know, especially after the year that I had, like as far as like remote learning with my daughter and public school, and me deciding that I'm going to be homeschooling her going forward, and all of the extra stuff that comes with social media and life, I was very frustrated, because at a point it's like I was watching all of the shit show just like everybody else, and I felt bamboozled, you know, like my whole entire life, everybody says, oh my god, you know, good things will come to you and all this other extra stuff, and you know, like, you don't do good expecting anything in return, but at the same time and in that same breath, you don't expect to have continuous bad things happen, right? Like, I donate 30% of proceeds from my books to charities, to, you know, other single parents, to homeless shelters, to like, I'll have a list of all of the nonprofits that I donate money to, and I was struggling. And I know I could have been selfish and been like, okay, no, but like last year I sold, I was trying to sell 150 books per month. That didn't happen, but I sold 150 books at the end of last year. So I donated $894 to charity, and then I also was given money outside of the money that I donated to charity, which for me, I was happy about. I'm not gonna hold you. I was very proud of myself to be able to do that, even with the pandemic going on, and even with my, you know, like my own bills going haywire. I let go of my vehicle so that I can, you know, take care of my mom, and make sure that I basically financially wasn't put in a weird predicament, because I didn't want to hold on to something. Like, all of this stuff is not real, but when I'm sitting here and I'm watching like David Dobrik or Jeffree Star or Gabby Hanna continuously get press for their bad behavior, and feeling as though like they're still getting rewarded even if everybody doesn't think that they're being rewarded. I hope that makes sense, right? So think about it like this. If you're, you know, like if you're into social media and stuff, you already know engagement is where it's at. So if you have your name literally everywhere, that's engagement. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know, when you make somebody go viral because you're making fun of them, or you're hate watching them, or you're hate following them, you're assisting them in continuously being on your feet. Like, people complain about the Kardashians, like, oh my god, I hate the Kardashians, but you watch everything that they do, you comment how much you hate them everywhere, and that contributes to them flourishing. And it's like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. That was the point. But yeah, so you basically can't have your cake and eat it too when it comes to how these people do the things that they do. Like, it's just not, it's not feasible. So it's like, I kind of sort of had gotten to a point when it came to creating content where I was frustrated when it came to creating content, because I didn't feel as though it made sense. I used to talk about, you know, social justice and so on and so forth. And I went from everybody seeing my posts to nothing. I would still get invited to YouTube Space and like all of these YouTube events, and I would be personally invited. So that means that you see me, you watch me, all of that. But my videos would get suppressed. So, you know, I basically focused on what I needed to, because ultimately YouTube isn't my bread and butter. I don't get that many views for YouTube to be my bread and butter. But I, you know, like I did stuff outside of YouTube. I would do hair modeling gigs. I would do regular modeling gigs. I would do makeup. I would work regular jobs. I've worked in hospitals. I worked in facilities that housed individuals who had developmental disadvantages, and so on and so forth. Just like a plethora of jobs. Like I've always had a job while I was doing YouTube, up until like probably like 2014 I stopped working for somebody else and I was working solely for myself. And then after that, life kept happening. My mom fell, had to take care of her. I launched my books. I have 4 poetry books. I think like in the next video I'll actually get a chance to like sit down and talk to you guys about the books that I have. I'm very, very proud of them. I currently have a goal of selling 2,000 copies of the books, so that way I can like basically just catch up on bills and stuff. So if you're interested in purchasing any poetry books, definitely the link will be down in the description bar. Or if you follow me on Instagram, if you go to my shop, it's right there. VastiaPascale on everything. And it was just like sitting down. I'm doing all of this stuff. I'm stressed out because I'm trying to make sure that my daughter's, you know, doing good as far as remote learning is concerned. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not like, you know, being neglectful to her in any way, shape, or form, and all of the things, right? All of the things. And this guy is literally putting people in danger, doing all of these things. You have another one being as racist as racist can be. You have another one yelling about how everybody is narcissistic and everybody else is the problem and she's not the problem and all of these things. And I'm like, let a black creator show their ass like that, they would no longer have a platform. And you know, so it's like, cancel culture, is cancel culture a thing? Honestly, no. Because you could be canceled on Twitter and be thriving on Instagram. You could be canceled on Instagram and be thriving on Facebook. Like literally, David Dobrik went from, oh yeah, I'm gonna stay off of YouTube. Homeboy went straight to Facebook. All of a sudden, you got all of his videos being uploaded to Facebook because there's money to be made there. You know, his followers were still his followers on Instagram, even if they weren't his followers anymore when it came to like his other social medias. So it's like people have like fake woke activism, and I'm not down. Like I can't do it. Like I can't. It's not my thing. If I like you, I support you. If I don't like you, you'll know that I don't like you, and I can't support you. So this is what I'm going to do with the eyes so far. I don't even think you guys can see that. I can't even see whether or not you guys can see that because I don't have my glasses on and I don't got no contacts. So I'm going to do the rest of my face. I'm not going to be doing like a whole thing because ultimately it's summertime. Trying to not. Summertime, so I want my face to breathe. So I'll just most likely spot conceal in certain areas and then just contour my life away. Alright, so let me do that since I was rambling while I was just doing these. And I think, oh, you about to heat up. Okay, so that's the only thing I don't like about the Sony A5100 for recording. It heats up very, very quickly. I got about like 25 minutes before the whole thing decides that it's gonna shut off. So I'm gonna let this rest for a bit, let the battery rest, all the other extra stuff. Do the remainder of my face. Like I said, I'm gonna spot conceal, and then I'm gonna come back with the remainder of my rant, because that's exactly what this is. Makeup and rant. I don't know. We're not gonna call it anything. We're just gonna, you know, just vibes. Just vibes. Okay. So I basically concealed with Maybelline Fit Me. I set everything with Stay Matte by Rimmel London. I don't have any foundation on. I did like a little highlight with Cool Tan by LA Pro Girl, and now I'm about to finish these eyes. But yeah, so ultimately I just feel like it's like conditioning, right? Like, bad people want you to feel bad about what they're doing wrong. So instead of them actually, you know, doing something about being bad, or like dealing with the repercussions of their bad behavior, or their unjust behavior, I should say, they have a tendency to basically want to make everybody else feel or think like it's their fault. Like, oh, the reason why is because you guys have this morality thing. And it's like, okay, but where's your morals? Like, you guys say that we're wrong for having a morality. Where's your morals? So it's like the whole cancel culture thing. There is no such thing as cancel culture. Should people be deplatformed? That's up for debate. And politically, everybody would want to be politically correct and say, oh no, nobody deserves to have their platform taken away. But ultimately, when somebody's doing bad with the platform that they have, look at James Charles, why are we still rewarding them? Why do they get to keep their platform if after year after year after year they continuously show you that they're trash people? And then you have a whole bunch of kids who are following these people, emulating, you know, who they are or what they wish to be and all this other extra stuff. And it's like, is it actually fair? Like, do we live in a society where this made sense, or it makes sense to someone? Because ultimately, I don't think so. Like, I know everybody's just like, oh no, you know, you shouldn't want to have a person deplatform because people make mistakes. Yeah, people make mistakes, but like texting pedophiles, almost killing your friends, where is the cap for these mistakes? Because I don't feel like it's like anywhere in sight, and that's the part that is most disheartening. Is it's like we're supposed to sympathize with these people that you want to get money from, instead of actually looking at them for who they are, which are sociopathic, narcissistic, self-indulgent, spoiled brats. Like, there's no nice way to say it. And normally, like I say, I try to stay out of like all of the things, because I don't care to work with anybody. But the thing is like, at some point you can't be quiet. Also, if you guys hear any noise in my background, that's my lovely neighbors. It's just the perks of coming back to your mama crib. I don't really have a say in what my neighbors, like what kind of noise my neighbors be on. If you guys remember my old chit chat, get ready with me, you know. But yeah, so it's just like I've been thinking about this stuff for like a while now, because it's just, it's not fair. That's like the nice way of saying it. It's honestly just, it's not fair. Because you have a whole bunch of people who are doing a whole bunch of bad stuff and they're reaping the benefits of being bad. So it's like, why would I change my behavior if I'm getting exactly what I want? Like Jeff Wittick, or whatever his name is, you know, he thinks that he's doing a good thing by like not suing homeboy, because he's like, well, you know, that's my friend. And I'm like, yeah, your friend, you almost died. So it's like, you still want to claim him as your friend? Like, do you want to claim him as your friend because of the proximity to money? Or do you want to claim him as your friend because he was actually a friend? Because you had to basically con old boy to even be your friend and do friend-like things. He's such a sociopath, and he lacks the ability to connect with people that he makes money off of. So much that he didn't know what to do with you guys when you guys were in the hospital. Anyways, so it's like, I've had nothing but time on my hand, which is why I even know these people's business, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't give a damn. I would not give a damn, but I ain't got nothing else to do. We'll see if work starts picking up and actually pay me what I'm worth, instead of like, I had a job. Let me tell you. All right, so I paused my dual master's program recently. So those of you who don't know, I'm currently finishing a dual master's in industrial organizational psychology, as well as in child and adolescent development. Right? Wonderful. Great things. Here's the problem. Nobody wants to pay me a livable wage, right? And I've basically just been making my living off of my books and my oils and, you know, like all the things. So that's the good part. Now, also, if you guys are interested in seeing like how I pack, or, you know, like when I'm shipping out stuff, like let me know. I'd be down to like showing you guys all of that, because basically I decided that instead of having perfect content all the time, I'm just gonna have content. I'll just be uploading. I'm not gonna have a schedule, because ultimately, I've told you guys this, where I'm at now, it's nothing but noise. So it's like, I either don't sleep because of the noise, or I wasn't recording because of how much noise was going on in the background. Because I didn't want to just like hop on and then just post. I wanted to, like, you know, explain to the people that are still following me, like, where I've been, why I've been MIA, you know, all the things. But hey. But yeah, so that's somewhat of my view of cancel culture. Like I said, this is all over the place because I honestly just needed to rant, get it off of my chest, and actually put it out there. Because it doesn't make sense to me. And then, like, when you think about the parasocial relationship that these children are having and all of that extra stuff, it's honestly disheartening. Because these kids deserve better. I'm not gonna hold you. These kids definitely deserve better. They deserve better role models. They deserve, like, just better all the way around. Right now I'm going to use, what is this? Cafe by Black Radiance. And I'm going to use that to bronze up / contour the face. Because I don't know, I'm not very big into like harsh anything. But yeah, so it's been very interesting seeing how the world reacts or reacted to the whole debacle with, what's that boy name? With David Dobrik and them. Which, if you've lived in America longer than a day, or if you've lived abroad, or if you're alive on this planet, you know the level of privilege that comes with almost killing folks. And people are like, yeah, but he's still a good guy. He puts a lot of people in danger, but he's still a good guy. He makes racist jokes, but he's still a good guy. Like, I'm not gonna hold you, for a long time I thought he was a good guy. You know, not because of his smile, but because I don't really keep up with his content. I don't, you know, like, I'm not an avid watcher of his content. I never have been. Like, unless it's like a giveaway, not catching me in the comment section. And then you also think about like how these people basically, not only do they give him platforms, but they make him feel so comfortable to be able to come back so soon. Like, people who have like real conscience and like feel bad about the things that they do, they struggle to come on the internet. Look at what's that girl name? The one that left that everybody feel away about? Jenna Marbles. Jenna Marbles, like, literally was like, yeah, I'm not happy with what I've done in the past, so I'm going to leave. Obviously, yeah, she's already made her millions by this point, but there's like a level of, yeah, I'm never going to be able to contour the quarantine weight that I put on. But yeah, so it's just, I don't know. It's like you have a whole bunch of rich kids complaining about the fact that people are actually holding them accountable because they never had to be held accountable, and the rest of us are like, okay, that sounds like consequences. No, I'm being canceled. It's like y'all want to be oppressed so bad. Like, I'll never understand it. So now I'm about to go in with the Master Chrome by Maybeline for my highlight, and then I'm gonna put lashes on, and then I should be done with my little rant. But yeah, no, it's just, not only is it not fair, it's disheartening. Because it's like, we're not allotted the same grace as a lot of these creatives. I remember I was over here getting flagged like left and right when I was marching like years ago. And then like people be like, oh, but you know, you just gotta be consistent. And it's like, why should I continuously give to a platform that doesn't give a damn about me? Why would I do that? Like, that's why I also never could understand why people be like, oh, this company doesn't have my shade range. And it's like, okay, well, go to someone else. There's enough companies out there for you not to have to feel like I have to, you know, I need this one specific company to give me shade range. No. If they don't have your shade range, you don't give them your money. It's honestly that simple. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, if a company doesn't have what I need and they don't care about myself, I'm too prideful. I would not give them my money. I would not think about giving them my money. I wouldn't even sit here and fight with them to give them my money. Like, when all that Tarte shape tape whatever shenanigans was going on, I have a video that that ended up getting corrupted. But basically I was just like, why are y'all begging these people to take your money? Like, why would you want to? That's when I'm about to say something. Y'all about to be very angry. I had this conversation with an old friend of mine where I basically said, I don't agree with segregation, but I also don't think that chasing after other people to see you as a human or to give you the notoriety that you deserve is a flex. I think as people, there has to be a level of pride within yourself, and if somebody doesn't have what you want, just go elsewhere. Go where you're celebrated. Go where you're wanted. Go where somebody actually thought about you as a human being and not a dollar sign. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's where you should be going. Fuck these companies who don't see you as a human being, who don't I'm currently going in with NYX's Cherry Skies, and in the center I'm gonna go in with Kitten Heels. Don't give in to these companies that don't care.
On the same page, tonight can we stay? And why don't you talk to me, let's start a conversation. When you spend your time with me, you're speaking my love language.
Okay, so I'm going to put the lashes on, change the fit. Let me be right back. So I'm gonna wrap this particular video up here. I'm actually going to be recording another video talking about my books and everything else like that. If you guys would like more makeup and rant videos, then definitely leave your suggestions as far as what topics you guys were interested in. Leave that down below and I'll be sure to like put that into the next video, because I'm trying to get as many videos out as possible. Alright, so I will see you guys on the flip side. Bye!